你在这儿呢。
你没看见我啊？你在这儿。
哎，张姐。Hello, my name's Dominic Johnson-Hill. I am the founder and creative director of Plastered, this brand that is surrounded all around me. Ooh, nice socks. We plaster images on clothing and other products. It also means to be drunk in English, so it's a kind of a fun name. And it's the building plate, which is also our logo, which is why we have the 8 there, the Plastered 8. So much of this is like, yeah, it's an English guy who is very visual, and he lives in China, and all of these things are around him, and he sees them in a different way, and he celebrates them. So he makes Chinese-style comic book artwork, he makes Chinese-style manga artwork, he takes Peking opera and makes it into a pop artwork. It's a very unique way of one person's sort of vision of Beijing. It's got a lot of sort of fun Beijing, the old Beijing rabbit, Beijing bus, Shuangxi, the Budao Wang, the old toy. It's really memories, you know. A lot of what we do is taking memories, things that, you know, were around you when you grew up in Beijing, like this one as well. It's just lots of memories. You know, the old washing up liquid, a bottle of alcohol, cigarettes, you know, all the good stuff. Before starting the brand, I'd never done retail or design or art or any of this. I just threw myself at it. I left home when I was around 17, 18. I went to Africa. I didn't do very well at school, and so I went traveling around the world, you know, getting jobs, Africa, South America, India. And then my oldest brother was living in China in 1991, 92. And I hadn't seen him for many years, so he actually paid for me to come to China from India to visit him. And then I made my way up to Beijing, and I ran out of money. So I had no money to leave, really. I fell in love with Beijing, and then I never left, you know. I never thought, of course, for 1 minute it would be 26 years, more than half my life. The brand started because I moved onto this alleyway here where my flagship store is in 2003 with my wife and kids. We moved into a shared courtyard house right behind the store. And one day I was just having a haircut, and I said to the hairdresser, hey, I'd like to open a shop on this street. It's just a residential street. There was no shops on the street because I lived here. And so he found me a shop, and I didn't know what to do with it. It was empty for 6 months. And then one day I saw a tourist walking down one of the side streets wearing a t-shirt that said, I climbed the Great Wall, which is a really ugly tourist t-shirt. And I thought, well, I've got this empty shop and there's no cool t-shirts in Beijing. Like, since I arrived in 92 all the way until then, no one had changed the t-shirts. And so I started thinking about how I would redesign that t-shirt. I had this idea of sort of taking a woman in a bikini and just plastering on top of that design. It was a very kind of contemporary idea, but it got me very excited. And so I ran home and told my wife, and then I started the brand. Which is funny because that t-shirt is the least successful design I've ever made. Like, nobody bought it. Once I'd started the business, I started getting excited about it, and I threw myself into it, like totally all in, you know, like I'm gonna make this happen. And I held catwalk shows on the Hutong. I got the local government to block off the street and put disco balls in the trees, and the models came out of my courtyard house, and I had music. I got media to come to that event, you know, and then people started writing about me. And then one day I ended up on China's like most famous chat show, and I'd never even been on TV before, just because she had read about me in one of these magazines that reported about my fashion show. And then I started going on all of these TV shows, and then I became famous, and I was a judge on The Chinese Apprentice for 6 years, and all this mad shit happened, you know? I mean, I just opened a t-shirt shop on a street, and then suddenly I couldn't even walk down the street without getting recognized, you know? It sounds like I'm showing off, but I'm just telling you what happened. So when Mocha Bros was founded, about 5 years ago, the owners came to me and said they had this great big wall in this new restaurant they were opening, and they said, what should we do with it? I said, just give me that wall. I'm going to plaster it in artwork. And more people saw our artwork, and then a lot of brands started approaching us to do installations for them, from Lululemon. We just worked with Adidas. I created an installation for an art hotel in Sanlitun, where I took revolutionary ballet, or what they call Hongsi Yangzijun, and then I combined it with synchronized swimming. And of course, a lot of people would be like, how did you ever think of that? When you're like me, you know, and as they say, an idle mind is the devil's playground. I'm always thinking of these things. That's really, in essence, when I'm happy, that's what I do. I think of, how can I put that and that together? Creativity is so much about putting two things together that aren't related. Some brands take themselves far too seriously, you know. I certainly don't do that. I like to take the piss and be silly, you know, it's what excites me. I'm very immature. People say, you're so immature. I think immaturity is a fantastic thing, you know. I'm very chaotic and disorganized, but in the chaos of my life is where I find the diamonds, the creativity. I try to push myself creatively every year to do new things, you know, whether it's to make short films or to create animations or bigger installations. That's really where my passion lies now, is art. Everything that I was told that I was bad for a reason at school are the reasons why I'm successful now. What we do essentially is celebrate Beijing. That's what we do. We celebrate this city through artwork, and we bring something very fresh and new to Beijing. And we're part of the fabric of this city now, and we're very proud of what we've done. It's so important to be adventurous in life. It was because of adventure that I discovered China, and that I discovered all of this, you know, my love of adventure. And it's because of my love of adventure that I started this brand. It's been an incredible journey. I feel just like the most lucky guy on earth. Yeah, it's been like a dream.